Dr. Rob Young was squinting and said, "That's me in the background having a cup of tea, having a break from my work as a psychologist." Hello, Rob, nice to see you.
Hello.
He helped with the research, and Hugh Bishop is here. He's the boss of Meteorite, which, according to the Sunday Times, is one of the top 10 companies to work for in the small to medium sector.
Thank you.
Welcome both. So,
Morning.
Rob, tell us first, why is it so important to get out?
Well, what really amazed me about the survey was, this T-Mobile research, was that 50% of people spend less than even half an hour outdoors.
Yeah.
And if you think about, as children, we spend all of our time outdoors. But it's really important psychologically because actually sunlight is involved in melatonin, in our hormonal responses, in our circadian rhythms, and our mood. And if you're not feeling in a kind of positive mood, well, you can't be productive at work, can you?
So, Hugh, what do you do to get your lot outside?
I think there's some simple things that all companies can do. One of the main things we do is we have a ban on people eating food at their desks, which sounds really kind of
draconian.
Yeah, and also it sounds like a simple principle. But you go into these offices, and then there's a lovely film, The Producers, and
The Mel Brooks film.
The Mel Brooks,
yeah.
or even both of them do the same. And who's the guy who played Bloom in the latest one? Doesn't matter. Anyway.
Okay.
And he goes in back to his accountancy firm, and they're sat there doing this, jigunk, jigunk. And you watch people in offices now going, send, send, as if they're sending emails, as if they're working in those lines, as it's all
Matthew
about battery. Matthew Broderick, that's it, Matthew Broderick. And, well, he's very good, isn't he?
Came
in the ear.
I haven't got one of those. That's cheating. You should have one of those. And I think you've got to break free from that. You've got to break out of it. You've got to unchain the chair, or ditch the desk and get out and get going.
There is a mentality, a work mentality, which is I've got to stay here so that everybody knows that I'm doing my job properly. And if I leave, people might think I'm skiving.
Well, people have this thing about FaceTime, that you need to be seen to be working very long hours. But actually, people's efforts should be measured on their productivity. So how well they do the work, how much work they do, rather than whether they're in the office from, sort of 8 till 8.
Rob says, you see, you can only concentrate for 20 minutes at a time. You should take a break for 5 minutes every half hour. But some managers would say, well, that's just a slacker's charter. So, I'm just off for my 5-minute break.
Yes. I think you have to set a culture, very much a culture that's about empowerment, that people believe and have the trust, and you have the trust in them to go out and they're going to work. Then you put an infrastructure in place so people can work outside. Infrastructure can be mobile working. It can also be having deals with local restaurants that they can get vouchers and they can take and they can have low-cost cups of coffee. And we do all of that. We have bikes outside the office that people can go and cycle around. We have sports teams that go out and play football in the evenings. All of these are very possible to set up. They're low cost. But going back to your point of you've got to have trust in your staff. If you don't have trust in your staff, then you don't actually believe that when they're flexibly working, they're going to not be working, then you've got a very bad company you're running.
What about the workers who actually really do find it difficult to leave their workplace? Sandra is a nurse. She gets a 30-minute break with no opportunity to leave the workplace. And one viewer emailed who works in a shop. You have to be there, basically, if you're in a shop. I suppose you could close for lunch, but then you lose your business.
But I think even if you only have a 30-minute break and you're stuck at the hospital, at least go for a walk around the building. Do something. Don't just sit in the canteen, kind of being bored by the same four walls. Go for a walk outside. There must be a little tiny plot of grass or something outside that you can stand outside for 5 minutes.
There it is.
Change things.
Do something a bit different. I think, it's even what you do is, we have a philosophy at work called curiosity. The whole business is based around curiosity. And if you walk to work in a slightly different way, you have a different way of, you approach work in a very different way. And the same at work.
Route.
Get out for another 5 minutes. Go and do something different. Just break the routine. Get empowered. Get some real passion about your work back. Very
Let's
important.
all do that.
Really
do that.
Something different.
Something
Curiosity.
different. Yes. Curiosity. Very important word.
That's the
We're
word
all
of the
born
day.
with it, but we all lose it.
Yep.
Curiosity.
Well,
Thank you.
we've given... Thanks, Jan.
Thank you very much.
We've given Declan something different to do, perhaps just maybe a bit too different. Here he is.